today we're releasing, there's a news release in your packets, empowering organizations to tackle cyber threats. And there's about 25 pages in here. All content and information really talk about the threats your businesses face and the solutions, the easy solutions that you should be really aware of. And then, of course, if you do have a minor or major cyber attack, you'll be prepared.
Unless you're doing packet analysis, unless you're monitoring your network, unless you have intimate knowledge of how the systems are designed, you don't know that the data that every document that you scan isn't somehow being exfiltrated from your network with one of these multifunction devices. There's a lot of trust that has to happen, and depending on your situation, you have to make a judgment. It's all about risk management, making a judgment about how much you want to trust these devices.
If you're a non-technical organization, but you have IT staff, your IT staff is probably around 10% of your organization. And your cybersecurity function should probably be about 10% of your IT organization. That's a general rule of thumb. You can go back and look at that. You can look at economy scales if you're a very large organization, but always consider that there's a cybersecurity function in everything that you do IT.
There's no right answer, I think, for what a board should be doing on this topic. There's one very clear wrong answer, which is to do nothing. Clearly now the courts have said that it's part of a board member's fiduciary duties to include cybersecurity governance in his or her scope. So for sure boards need to be involved. How they do that can vary from company to company.
If a vendor has a vulnerability and they have access to your system, their vulnerabilities become your vulnerabilities. That's where the problem comes in, because you don't have as much control over the vendor's computers as you have over your own employees' computers, and they have these complicated routes into your system.
Learn more at travelersinstitute.org.